Hello students, in our last video we understood types of forces. Today we are going to understand pressure. Pressure is produced when a force acts on an object. An object exerts force on another object by making contact with it or by touching it. The effect of force applied by one object on another object depends upon the area of contact. So we can say that pressure is the force acting on a unit area, or we can define pressure as force acting on a unit area. We can represent pressure by the formula pressure is equal to force upon area. Let us try and understand this concept by taking few examples. The easiest example which we have seen many times is an iron nail. Now if I try to push hard into a piece of wood with my thumb, the thumb does not goes into the wood. But when I keep a nail and I hammer the nail goes into the wood. Why is it so? It is so because the drawing pin or the nail has a sharp pointed edge. Now this edge has very little area. So the area which is coming in contact with wood is very less. So lesser the area, more will be the, when you will put force on the object, so what will happen? Pressure will increase. So pressure increases and the nail easily goes into the wood. Now see this example. More is the area, smaller is the pressure. Lesser is the area, more is the pressure. Now left hand side, you can see I am trying to put my thumb into the wood, but it does not goes. Why? Because area in contact with the wood is more, so pressure becomes less, which does not allows the thumb to go into the wood. But when I am putting the nail into the wood, it goes easily because the area which is coming in contact with wood is very small. Smaller is the area, more is the pressure. The SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square, which is also called Pascal. Let us try and understand some daily examples of pressure. The first one which we observe is the school bags. When we see the school bags, they have wider straps. Why are these straps wider? Because we have heavy weight in the bag, and weight is actually force. So force applied by the bag is too much on the shoulder. Now these wider straps, they actually increase the area. Now larger will be the area, lesser will be the pressure. So they will not hurt the shoulders and it will be comfortable for you to carry the school bag. On the other hand, if they were thin straps, then what would have happened? Then the pressure would have increased because the area was less. So the pressure would have increased and it would have been difficult to carry the school bag. Similarly, have you ever observed the porters which carry heavy load on the railway stations? You must have seen a thick round piece of cloth on their head to carry heavy loads. Now, why is it so? It is so because that round cloth increases the surface area, which decreases the pressure of heavy load, and so it is easier for them to carry them. Similar example we can take from the daily life, that the trucks, buses and heavy tractors, they have big wide tires. Why is it so? This is also due to decreasing, so that we can decrease pressure. See, when the tires are broader, it is easier because these trucks are carrying very heavy loads. Now, the tractors which have broader tires will exert lesser pressure because the area of contact increases. So they will apply lesser pressure on the ground, and so the tires will not sink in ground. If these tires were not broader, then what would have happened? Then the problem would have been that because they are heavier, so they would have exerted a lot of pressure on the ground, and they must have sinked into the ground. These heavier vehicles have broader tires to increase the surface area, so that they do not sink into the ground. There are many more examples and applications of pressure. We can also talk about the sharp knives. You must have seen a sharp knife cuts the food very easily, but a blunt knife does not. Why? Same reason. A sharp knife has thin edges. These thin edges decrease the surface area and increases the pressure. So pressure increases, then it is easier for us to cut the vegetables or fruits with sharper knife. But if the knife is blunt, then it has thicker edges. Due to the thicker edges, the force of our hands fall over a larger area and produces less pressure. This less pressure causes difficulty in cutting the fruits and vegetables. So, to recall the pressure, I would say pressure is force acting on a unit area. So, we can say pressure is equal to force upon area. The SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square, also known as Pascal. Very important thing to remember is that pressure depends on two factors. Number one, force applied, and number two, area over which force acts. See, if we apply same force, then also different pressures can be exerted depending on the area of contact. For example, when a force acting on a larger area of the object, it produces smaller pressure. But if same force acts on a small area, then it is going to produce a larger pressure. I hope you would have understood the concept of pressure.